93.7 Express FM. I am delighted to welcome the most handsome man, apart from me in the studio, Den Barry. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing very well, Darren. Thank you very much.
Very smiley, so we're going to ruin that, mate. Better say goodbye, hello to the wife, Jane.
Yeah, good morning, Jane. If you're listening, you should be listening.
What, if she isn't, she probably knows.
She's heard me before.
I live with him. I don't need to hear his gob when I'm out of him either. Right, so Toucan Diversity. What's your role at there, and what is it, first of all, my friend?
Well, we're a user-led social enterprise based here in Portsmouth, and we work to educate and increase the awareness of the issues that disabled people face.
Right.
I'm chair of trustees. I'm also one of the trainers. We deliver training on all sort of aspects of disability, inclusive employment, all that kind of thing. But being user-led, every single one of our trainers has a first-hand lived experience of a disability. So we have trainers with autism, we have a wheelchair user, we have visually impaired trainers, and a trainer with invisible disabilities, the ones that aren't necessarily apparent. They don't use walking aids, a dog, a wheelchair, etc.
Right. How did you get involved in the role?
Through my dear wife Jane. She's a networker. She put the
when you say networking, you mean she chats a lot?
She talks to everybody and anybody. I've warned her against this, but to no avail. She put Anne-Marie Ascari, who's our development director, in touch with me. Just said, look, you need to meet my husband, when she heard what Toucan were doing. Yeah. I went along for a brief chat and found myself signed up as a trustee and starting a college course on how to deliver training in an accredited way rather than by the seat of my pants, so I'd done it in the past. And then I became chair of trustees earlier this year. Right.
So your day-to-day role then... obviously, we've nicked you for a few hours, so you're here. But where are you predominantly based?
We're based at the innovation space up on Hampshire Terrace.
So you're only about a 5-minute walk from
We are literally a 5-minute walk from here. We deliver training in people's workplaces, but we also deliver training on a regular basis at the Academy in Gunwharf Quays. Our next training there is on the 26th of September, if you want to book a place.
I was just going to say when's the next training, but you've already beat me to it. So to break that down then, with the training, we'll do that after we play the next song. But you say your day-to-day training. What kind of difficulties are people finding with being disabled, or they say that the disabled that's non-visual? What kind of obstacles are they facing in the workplace?
Well, they're twice as likely to be unemployed as somebody who hasn't got a disability. So that's a frightening
Why is that then?
A lot of employers are afraid to take on people with disabilities. They think they're more expensive to employ because of the adjustments they might need to make around the workplace. There is a stigma involved with disability, whether we like to admit it or not. In this country, hate crimes, for example, against disability are up by 33% in the last year. I mean, frightening statistics in the 21st century. The reality, of course, is that reasonable adjustments in the workplace, I think something in the region of 4 to 5% of them cost any money. Most of them are free. They can be made, arrangements rather than equipment. A lot of equipment is paid for by access to work, so there is government funding to pay for equipment that's required by somebody so that they can, carry out the duties that's required of a job.
A lot of people aren't aware that you can get funding to support someone in work. So how do you find out where you can get that funding from?
It's the central government website is a good place to start. The gov.uk. Yeah. It's called Access to Work, is the department who deal with it. They'll come out, they'll assess the workplace, they'll speak to the employer, they'll speak to the employee and work out what's required. Most of it is free. Very few organisations have to pay any contribution towards that equipment. And it's specifically meant to bridge that employment gap, as they call it. With people with disabilities twice as likely to be unemployed. It's a brilliant scheme. It should be shouted about from the highest rooftops. There's a massive wealth of talent that's going untapped. from employers with unemployed people who have disabilities.
Yeah. Listen, what we're going to do, we're going to find out more about this after we play this next song. But if people are going to shoot off and they're going to miss your website and all your details, if they want to get involved in Toucan Diversity, what's the website, Dan?
The website is toucan-diversity.org.uk. We've also got a Facebook page which is easily to find. It's just Toucan Diversity. Like our page, get in contact, and we'll give you any details that you need. And
Toucan as in the bird?
Toucan as in the bird.
Right, OK. Well, we'll find out why you chose Toucan after this. The mighty Paul Weller and Changing Man. 28 minutes past 10 o'clock. I'm here with Dan Barry from Toucan Diversity. You a Paul Weller fan?
Yeah, I liked his very early stuff, Jam in particular, and some of his much later stuff. There's a bit of a little, gap in the middle, I think, where I'll probably avoid most of his stuff.
My advice, don't go see him live. Anyway, so Toucan Diversity. I won't ask the question how it got this name, because we just found out you don't know. But so Toucan Diversity, a quick roundup, it's helping people with learning and physical disabilities, as well as helping lots of other disabled people as well. Yeah,
we're sort of focusing a lot on employment because the government have been trying to bridge that employment gap for a while now.
Yeah.
So really, sort of training employers and helping them understand the talent that they're missing out on by not employing people who have disabilities. We're involved with the Disability Confidence Scheme. We're a disability confident leader. We're the only one in the city. We can help organisations become disability confident, and that means just having grown-up adult conversations about disability, not being afraid to have those conversations. And it demonstrates then to the wider public that you're committed to supporting people with disabilities into employment.
How's technology helping disabled people?
I think massively. I know when I was last working for a large organisation, I started losing my sight, access to work, brought in loads of equipment to help me with the computer system, with large keyboards, with readers that read text to me if the text was too small for me to read, all sorts of things like that. And that's just on just for somebody with visual disabilities. There is a huge amount of technology out there now. We think about people with sight problems reading Braille. Well, such a tiny proportion of people read Braille now because there is equipment out there that can do all of that kind of thing for you. Amazing assistive technology, and it's getting better all the time.
That's the most important thing, isn't it? Obviously, that technology's moved on, and the choice of careers. A lot of disabled people have got more openings now with regards to what they physically can't do, mentally wise. They're more structured for desk-based jobs.
Yeah, and you'd be amazed at what people with disabilities can do. I mean, you only have to watch the Paralympics to see the physical strength and capabilities. So it's people with different abilities rather than any kind of it's not a handicap anymore. There's technology to help everybody, and differently abled people can do an amazing array of things.
So your role in the community then is obviously just to help the people that you've already mentioned. So how do people approach you, and who recommends that they get involved with you?
We've got a couple of big sort of clients around the city. The University of Portsmouth use us to do a lot of training with their staff. There are other organisations who we do a lot of training for. We can, people can come and volunteer for us. We rely on volunteers to help the organisation move forward. So if anybody, again, via Facebook or look on the website for contact details. So that's one way. But also we go to all the networking events with other social enterprises and charities, etc. We work with the council. We work with all sorts of organisations to spread our message. And when people book us for their training, they're supporting a local social enterprise with local people who are, spreading a good message and doing a really positive thing in the community.
So when you say you offer training, what kind of training do you offer, and who are you offering it to?
Well, the training, we do taster sessions, as I said earlier, down at the Academy at Gunwharf Quays. And we do training on a variety of different issues. So supporting inclusive employment is a great one for employers who are recruiting people from the local community. Disability equality obviously is our main style of training, but then we bring in the personal angle from another trainer, so i.e. somebody who talks about invisible disabilities, a sight disabled person about living with visual impairment, wheelchair user, autism, etc., etc. So really, depending on what the employer wants, we can tailor training for those specifically. And if you look on the website, you'll see the range of training that we offer and where it's going to be held.
And the best thing is to say, if you are listening to this and you're thinking, well, I really need to like a change of career, or I want to see that what kind of training is available to me and to improve, my career, Toucan Diversity is the best place for you.
Absolutely.
Perfect. Again, what's the website, Den, if people want to find out more?
It's www.toucan-diversity.org.uk, and you can find us on Facebook, Toucan Diversity.
Fantastic. It's been great to see you again, Den.
Thanks for inviting me.
No, you're welcome, because it's nice to see that I'm not the only ugly one out there. And big love to Jane, and we'll see you soon. Take care, buddy.
Cheers.
93.7 Express FM.